U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder came from a modest family in Queens, New York. Lacking a high school education, his father, Eric Holder Sr., taught his son and now U.S. Attorney General the value of education. Appointed by President Barack Obama in 2008, he now holds a title as the first African-American U.S. Attorney General. From the very beginning, it seems Holder was destined to be on a path that would combat government corruption across the nation. Coincidentally, one of Holder's earliest cases involving government corruption was on Guam. He came here in 1984 and worked with U.S. Attorney Fred Black.
I came as a young lawyer. I tried, I think, maybe 4 or 5 cases. And there was an indication that there was a corruption case here in Guam, and in the public integrity section, there was a desire to send somebody to help in the preparation of the case, the ultimate trial of the matter. And the determination was made by the chief of the section that they would not send anybody who was married, because the thought was that we'd have to spend a significant amount of time away from home.
Although Holder did not go into detail, U.S. Attorney Fred Black, who worked with Holder, says the case was one of the largest government corruption cases on Guam.
Could you explain what the case was that he was referring to back in '84?
Well, there's a policy in DOJ not to go back years ago to name people that have already been convicted. But he convicted a guy that was involved in procurement fraud throughout the whole government, and that case led to the conviction of numerous high-level government officials after he left. Without mentioning any of the names of the cases, he started the biggest corruption case, and the things that followed came out of that case.
The questions were pre-screened and the panel was not allowed to ask follow-up questions. Local media was also not allowed to ask questions. Among the topics Holder discussed dealt with prison overcrowding, homeless veterans, as well as open file discovery. One of the questions asked was why the Department of Justice won't just, quote, do the right thing and simply adopt open file discovery, which could in turn address the high number of overturned convictions.
There have been unfortunate instances where Justice Department attorneys have not followed rules that were set, that have been in place. I don't think that the problem is necessarily with the rules as much as it has been with people not following the rules that exist. We're never going to be able to eliminate every mistake. We are, after all, human beings. Human beings make mistakes. What we try to do is minimize the number of those mistakes, understanding that mistakes made by assistant U.S. attorneys are extremely consequential in nature, whether it's a civil case or a criminal case.
Finally, Holder also shared his affinity for Guam, saying both Guam and the CNMI hold a special place in his heart.
A great experience that I had here, and this place has always held a special place in my heart. And it was pretty good for me to come back and to see that, although the place has physically changed very much, I was riding down, I toured the island yesterday, I went down Tumon, and it was unrecognizable. I mean, how built up it was, with all the fancy shops and stores. That was breathtaking. I didn't expect that at all. And to see that it is, although physically different, given the warm hospitality that has been extended to me even over just the course of this morning, it is reassuring to know that this is still a very special